everything's better.
Oh,
everything's cheaper.
Wow.
The world is amazing. We're recording this 3 weeks earlier.
Oh, zing.
We hope everything actually is great and better. Please, God. Happy New Year.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but we love the optimism. Happy New Year. Manifest, right?
Manifest.
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 We're going to manifest.
Do you guys know
Manifest.
one of the greatest shows
Oh my God.
of 2024, which is starring and written and whatever from Bridget Everett, Somebody Somewhere.
I feel like we should do a whole episode on that show at some point.
What an unbelievable season, right?
I'm extremely sad it's done. And there's so many people that are like, how is it done? How dare HBO? And someone's like, I'm going to write a letter. And I was like, I'll sign it. And then someone else was like, no, the writer wanted it to end now. And I was like, are you sure? Okay.
I've wanted to bring it up so much that I met like a friend of a friend that moved to Kansas, and a part of us would be like, have you been to Manhattan, Kansas? The show Somebody Somewhere from Bridget Everett?
Do you know
and I was like,
Frederick Coco?
Stop it, Bridget. Also, shout out, I don't think she listens, but shout out to sister-in-law Erin, who put me onto that show. And that's why I told you about it. Okay, but wait. The guy, the bestie, in real life is Jeff Hiller.
Okay.
So she has like followed him on Instagram forever.
What?
And she showed me these messages that she would like cheer him on, and he would be like, thanks, babe, and respond back to her. And we made this like hilarious joke that like Erin is an influencer because he just came out with a book. And he has this like stunning, like hysterical photo of like, he has this beautiful wrap over his head or whatever.
Are his teeth showing? His teeth are so big.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny.
I can't stop staring at them.
She was like, this is the best picture ever. Like, oh my God, I love this picture. It's my favorite picture. And he's like, thanks. And then, months later when he came out with her book, like he chose that picture and Erin's like, do you think
oh my God,
I influenced him? I was like, yeah!
Yes! That's so funny. She should frame those
I
messages.
told her, I go, this is amazing.
That is amazing.
I'm telling my sister Katie immediately.
Starstruck. Oh my God.
Right? But we are not in Manhattan, Kansas for this movie.
We're in Manhattan.
You know what I'm saying? That's a different vibe.
Oh, Lord almighty.
But there is a connection to Bridget Everett.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh my God.
I screamed. That was the highlight of my month so far. I think having that discovery.
Oh my God. When you texted me that, I was like, I want to pay attention, but I'm totally in the middle of this freaking art thing. Oh my God. Wow. That was so funny.
Oh God. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bradshaw.
Oh.
And this is Sisters Who've Seen It.
Gucci, Fender, Prada, something, Madonna, one of them. Wow. I'll dance in a tutu next to a dirty bus. Yeah. Don't think I won't.
This is like a victory lap. This is fun. I can't believe we did the Sex and the City TV series before this movie, but here we are.
We didn't do the Sex and the City.
Oh, we did it?
What
I thought we talked about it a lot. Didn't we talk about it a lot?
We definitely referenced it, but like we never reviewed it.
We didn't do like a dedicated episode.
No, we haven't done that.
I guess we should say who we are and stuff, right?
6.5/7 seasons of that. That would be a lot. Yeah, all right, let me introduce ourselves. We are Sex and the City fans. But we're also the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
Oh, there's so many good lines, and I'm just going to pick one off the top of my head. Murder! First murder! I love this city.
God, I love this city.
I love Samantha. Wow. And what's our movie bridge? You already referenced it, but what is
From
it?
2008, Sex and the City.
The movie.
The movie. That is one thing, whenever I look up fun facts about movies, this was the hardest to find. Because it was like, in Sex and the City, season 2, episode 1. I was like, no, the movie. And it's like, in season 17. I was like, okay.
Oh, God.
But yeah,
I love the facts.
this was really the victory lap. And
Whew.
man, it's what other TV series has lasted this long and still been this relevant is mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think I told you stories that when this was like first coming out, not the reruns,
Right.
like Mom would go over to Roseanne Connor's house and watch it, and they watched like the finale, and I remember them all talking about it, and I was so young I didn't really like get it, but they were obsessed. And so it's just so funny that it's like stayed relevant this long.
It has. And it's also now, even though this was HBO was producing this and that's where people would watch it, it's also now on Netflix. So because it was on Netflix, it's like a
Yeah.
whole nother generation
Yeah, totally.
are able to kind of like access it, which is super cool. And lots of Sex in the City content. We do have our reboot. God help us. I love it so much. It's the biggest train wreck I've ever seen in my life, and I'll watch it. I'll watch every episode they put out. I just don't know what to say. It's called And Just Like That, and it's the women now in their, I don't know, what are they, 50s, 60s?
Yeah, 50s, 60s.
Yeah. I think it's timeless because it's Friends, which
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about this, where that female friendship is very relatable for
Yep.
women. They're all different personalities, which
Yep.
is always fun because you're like, why are you guys friends, huh? Why are Charlotte and Samantha friends? That's a plot point in one of the seasons. Like, why are we friends? It's hard to be friends with each other, blah, blah. And I'm sorry, but I think, unfortunately, maybe fortunately for them, another reason it's very relevant is because it's also focused on sex a little
Yeah.
bit. Sex sells. And
And the city.
yeah, and the city and the lifestyle and all that good stuff. One of the things that I love so much about this show, personal love, I don't know if it's why it's timeless, but it was also like, I don't know, like they're all good looking women,
Yeah.
but you say this all the time. They look like real people, especially when you go to season 1. You're like,
Yes.
whoa, like
The
we're
best.
not even, I don't even think Carrie wears makeup. Like at all, if at all, in season 1. And they're also women in their 30s. When the show starts,
Yeah.
they're all in their 30s, except for Samantha, but we don't know that till later. And they're all single. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's normalize that.
I also felt like all the dudes that they would hook up with throughout the series, I was always like, I don't know, they never picked like the perfectly chiseled, symmetrical dude. They were all like totally different, you know, like, remember fucking Miranda dating Spencer?
You mean Skipper Bridge?
Or Skipper?
People don't forget Skipper.
Like, what? The show was wild.
Skipper, I think, grew up to be the Manhattan serial killer that never got caught. That's my fan theory.
Wait, so am I doing
Yeah,
the
it is your
synopsis?
synopsis.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You can
I'm
do
gonna-
it.
Wait, let's do the one sentence.
Wait,
Please.
and I'll set you up a little bit. This
Please.
movie does take place over, I would say, at least a year. So we go through seasons, and there's different storylines. There's a lot.
Just keep
in
going.
here.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Nope, and that's all I'm gonna say because Bridget's doing the synopsis.
Carrie Bradshaw and her friends juggle jobs and relationships while navigating motherhood, marriage, and Manhattan real estate.
Oh, well,
What?
I don't think the real estate is that. Okay, maybe that's a thing.
What the fuck? A girl got jolted at an altar. What? Like
That is
okay.
definitely the main plot.
I cannot wait to get into the details because I was so annoyed watching this. I am not explaining who Carrie Bradshaw is. If you're listening to this,
Wow.
you need to go do some homework and go look up what the heck Sex and the City is about. But the 4 besties,
Yeah.
Charlotte, Samantha, Miranda, and Carrie, we're right back in it. Everything's great. And finally, Carrie is marrying Big. Finally, because the entire season was all about how we love Big and we need a man to make us feel happy. And finally, we're happy. Okay.
Yep.
And so, as part of that, they're all kind of cracking up, like, oh my God, the forever single, like, Carrie is finally settling down. Wow. And they're all in these completely different relationships, and they're all kind of doing different things. But I would say the main piece to it is her getting married, and then basically Big standing her up, which is a very questionable thing we didn't talk about.
Oh my God.
Because I was pretty annoyed by the whole thing now, and I'm like, I don't know if she was actually stood up. I think they could have just gone through with the wedding, but then there'd be no movie, but whatever.
Wow. All right.
And then it's all about her healing, and in the midst of it, Miranda is with Steve, and Steve cheats on Miranda.
Miranda?
Miranda.
So sorry.
Oh my God, I did read a great fun fact about him. I can't wait to tell you.
Oh, God.
And then Charlotte is, in seemingly having her, like, perfect life, and she gets pregos. And then Samantha is dating the hottest effing man on the planet, which is Smith.
Smith Jared,
and she's like out in LA as kind of manager, but also struggling with like, why aren't I in the city, and what the hell am I doing in this stupid LA with my life around a man? And so they all have really interesting things, and then they all converge and support each other, and in the end everything gets buttoned up.
There are buttons.
It's fun, it's lovely, but it's also absurd, and I really don't like Carrie. It's very hard to like her.
Everybody grows up and hates Carrie. It is justified though. She's
hard to
a
like
lot.
her, and Samantha's
will forever and always be the best character that's ever.
I didn't love
ever.
Samantha when I was younger. I always thought she was like a little much. I was like, okay, she's trying so hard, and she's really been the best friend to all of them.
She's the least judgmental of all of them.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
So yeah. So my fun fact about Steve is when the writers were making this movie, they got tons of fan mail that were like, we love Steve. Steve is our favorite character.
Oh.
Don't do anything bad to Steve. Like,
Was that the actor who plays Steve writing to himself?
Maybe.
Who wrote that?
Miranda.
Miranda.
So the movie was like, okay, we won't do anything bad to Steve. We'll make Steve do a bad thing, which is cheat on Miranda. And that was why they chose to do it, because all the fans were like, we love Steve with all our heart. Like, what?
Was it originally going to be Miranda cheats on Steve? Which, spoiler alert, she does in Just Like That. Oh,
does she, or is she just evening the score? I mean,
wow, Bridge.
What? Sorry.
All right.
Scorecard. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would like to get into it scene by scene. But I also feel like there is two movies within this movie. There's the movie attempting to have a plot with Carrie and Big and Jennifer Hudson. And then there's the other movie, which is just recalling like what people love about Sex and the City, which is like the fashion.
Yeah.
The sitting around and having lunch and talking about the column.
And everyone's boning, and you're going to see it and like it. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah. And so I think we have to try not to do all of it, because some, like, for example, we're cleaning out my closet, and so I'm going to do like a montage of trying on outfits. I'm like, okay. I don't know what's Gucci. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are not. I mean, we joke about fashion, but I don't know any of it at all. And the fucking dress that she was given for free, I was like, the boobs are kind of pointy. All right, I'm just saying, Vivienne Westwood. She said it. They're a little pointy for me. But Bridge, we do start out with Gucci Fenda Prada song. It's Fergie, Fergalicious Deaf, singing a custom song. And we do, as Bridget mentioned, you get a little flashback of some major show plot points, which is introducing all of the friends. And they all, so like, I do feel like we should maybe just reference best we can people's personalities.
Totally.
So Carrie, I guess, is the main character.
Yeah.
She's a writer.
She's got main character energy.
She is dating Big, who is like a finance, whatever.
John.
If you've watched the show, you may not love him unless you hurt your head at some point, and then maybe you do. I don't know. But they're still together, so that's fine. And then she's like, and then, you know, there's Charlotte, and Charlotte is very like wholesome. She's very like preppy and like girly and feminine, and she's like
Yeah.
loves her friends, loves her family. She's a happy lady. Life is
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
her and Harry, who is her husband, they adopted a daughter at the end of the series. So they have a daughter, but it was adopted because she couldn't get pregnant.
Yep.
And then you have Miranda, who is married to Steve. They have a baby. Well, he's like a toddler now.
Yeah.
And they live in Brooklyn, and that's a whole fucking thing. And Miranda's a lawyer, and she's a little cynical. All right, as you get older, you might relate to Miranda. Okay, is that me? Maybe. I don't know. And that's cute. And then Samantha, who is the best character in the show,
Absolutely
loves
the
to
best.
have sex, and she's like very open-minded about everything, all the things. And she's dating Smith Jerrod, who she's also managing, and they live in LA. And she is like, I love things that are fabulous. And you're like, fabulous. And that's that. So that's the dynamic we have.
Yeah.
And yes, the other characters might sound fun, like Samantha. But we're not going to hang out with Samantha because we have to go watch Carrie and Big look for apartments. And he's apparently a billionaire, something. And Bridge, I didn't live in the city, and you did. And I'm sure this might be triggering to watch people look for apartments in the city. But I just assumed that I don't know, like, they get shown an apartment that looks like a closet, and then it's like, oh, wait, look at the penthouse. And I was like, why didn't they look at that first? I don't know anything. I'm not rich. I don't know. It's a lot of that.
Okay, so 2008, right? This is the height of the crash, okay?
Yeah, it's a little unrelatable.
Yes.
Dare we say a lot of this movie is unrelatable.
Yes. So your point on like, oh, this apartment may not work, and they're like, I have a little bigger one. That they basically added on like $4 million to the price point. I was like, sir. I don't know what Big does, but a man that has been known to drive around in a private car for like all of his life, I'm like, he, for all we know, he's a trust fund kid, and maybe he doesn't even work and just wears suits a lot.
That's cute.
But like,
hate it, but probably maybe.
I mean, but it would explain his like man-child behavior.
There's so many things, yeah.
But I will tell you, so you start off and you're just like, okay, we're very much obsessed with like a little bit of superficial stuff. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Where's my shoe closet?
Well, and then they
I'm
go
okay.
from like, we're buying a penthouse to like, now me and the girls are going to an auction. And the auction is like, they're betting like tens of thousands of dollars on things. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And Samantha is dressed like Pikachu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love her. I had to say it. We love a reference. It's great. But we do get a little foreshadowing because the whole point of this auction is that it's this woman who was the girlfriend of another rich guy, because only rich people are allowed in this movie, people.
Yeah.
And her rich boyfriend kicked her out, so she's auctioning off all her stuff to embarrass him. And foreshadowing, I guess. I mean, is it though? I don't know. It's weird.
But Samantha wanted that ring, baby.
She did not get it. Well, she does get it later, but there's a lot. So I wonder if we should like go through each person's storyline. That might be easier too, to just kind of.
Let's do Carrie's last.
Okay. All right.
Because then that's most of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do you want to
Let's pop off with Samantha. Who doesn't want to talk about Samantha?
I'm Samantha. I have sex with everyone.
I'm a man.
I love Samantha.
She, first of all, is so beautiful. I mean, like, she does not age. Even, like, if you see her now, it's like, oh my god, this woman does not age.
Same.
But I loved Smith and her story because he was kind of this like cute softie that supported her through cancer right back in the seasons, and then he was a no-name actor and she's this PR, tycoon that was like, I'll make you fucking famous, and super cool. And so the fact that she's just being amazing in LA is great, and like, no, do this, do that. But I'll tell you this, I'm not signing up to date someone and be their like PR manager.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of shit where you eat, no?
A little bit. And And then, like, y'all live together, and
Yeah, it's a lot of togetherness.
it's a lot of meshing. But then at the same time, it's like they're not, like, boning. And I'm like, Samantha, never forget. This is like me being Mufasa on the clouds to Simba. Like, remember who you are, Samantha.
Remember who you are.
Whip the dick out.
Yo, but her neighbor's hot.
Okay. His name was Dante.
I can't.
He's boning everyone in, like, broad daylight. I was like, Dante, what if there's, like, paparazzi for
That
Smith
was the
Jarrett?
only thing I thought of is I was like, okay, they live by the ocean, and
Mhm.
I assume it's private property, so I guess nobody is like, no strangers are walking on these beaches because there's these big fancy houses. But I did think, Samantha, this feels illegal that you're just like in a hot tub watching him have sex with people, but he also doesn't close the blinds. So,
He doesn't.
which felt very Manhattan. I will tell you, Katie, I have watched a lot of people
Did you have a Dante bridge?
get it going on. The most intense one was a dude who would jerk off by his window.
Oh.
And I didn't know what he was doing for the longest time. And because this is, okay.
You're like, he's
this,
really working out with that shake weight.
I
He
just
must
wanna-
have strong biceps.
for people that can't take it, just forward this thing, because I have to tell you this, and this grossed me out.
Oh, God.
But, because we're going to get right into the sex talk.
Yes, Sex and City.
When you think of a man jerking off, okay, I think of it from like my lens.
Okay.
You know, like my speed and what I've experienced.
Oh, God.
But if you watch a man by himself do it,
It's like a race
it
to the
is
finish, right?
violent.
Yeah.
It is violent and intense. And I was like, is that man stabbing someone? I didn't know. I was watching from afar, like, I think there's a murder happening. Like, and then I was like, oh my God, it's to himself, and he's jerking off.
It's to
and
his dick.
I was scarred for life. I was like, is this what men do when we're not around?
Oh, my
like,
God.
gasp.
Gasp.
Okay, sorry. We're back. You can play it again.
I'm just envisioning you in a hot tub eating guacamole as you watch that, a la
and-
Samantha.
And I loved that she got a dog that just loved to hump things because she just wanted to have sex so bad, which I was kind of like, why can't you guys just have sex? I get he's like so tired, but like, Smith, get it together.
Yeah, that was the only thing about that.
Like, just have sex.
I
What do
just,
you mean?
It felt, because when you hear the sentiment, if you know Samantha, like she never really has like long-term relationships. She's had like
Oh.
a handful of relationships throughout the seasons,
Yeah.
but they're not long. Never talking about like marriage or anything like that.
Ever.
So like Smith Jarrett's like the first like big committed one. And so if you know that about her, and then you hear that it ends with her being like, oh, you know, I can't believe I built my life around a man. It's like, that makes sense. Like, I do get that wouldn't be Samantha. I can understand that'd be really hard for her. However, only making it because you're not having sex, like you said, but they could be having sex, is a little lame, guys.
Literally, a lot of this movie, I
Little
was
weak.
like, wait, we could have just had sex. Wait, we actually could have just got married. We didn't have to have that dramatic, like, leave scene.
Yes.
There were so many things that I was like, this just required a little bit more communication.
Where it's like, just slow down, people. And Samantha also, because she lives in LA, so she's always flying home to hang with her friends. So
Which I
it's
get
like,
that. If he's
get.
like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm working all the time and you're always flying to New York, like, that was his attempt to say this is why we weren't having sex. But a part of me is like, you can work around that. You can, have a morning delight. I don't know. Whatever
Wow.
you kids do.
Yeah, you crazy kids.
Crazy
Yeah,
kids.
and then there's
But wait.
okay, but do we have to reference the really
I
terrible
am
subplot with Samantha?
So
It's so brief, but it's so
mad
bad.
about this?
It's so bad.
what, she ate too much guacamole, so she got a fucking belly?
She had like
Are you
one
kidding?
bite of guacamole, and everyone's like, Samantha, you gained a pound. And I was like, oh, what
That's
the
what I mean. Like,
fuck?
you really saw how superficial it was.
Yes.
They're like, hey, we're your best friends, but we're absolutely going to make fun of you for being fat.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Which, by the way, of course, she wasn't even fat.
And then at one point, Carrie
Um,
goes, it's not about the weight, but are you happy? And I was like, bitch,
Yeah.
you're asking because of the weight.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is Samantha dumps Smith Jarrett, and that's that.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's not like
And I
really
think she should've.
emotional. It's just kind of like, okay, bye.
Well, she has a great line.
Oh, it's a line I wrote down. I was like, should I use that?
Do you want to say it?
I'm just going to say the thing you're not supposed to say. I love you, but I love me more.
Ooh. Ooh, girl.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yes, right. But you understood it, knowing her personality. She was
Mhm.
never. You should never be a manager of the person that you're with. Period. I just think that's too hard.
That's the
Maybe
lesson.
people do it, but I think it's too much. I mean, James and I freaking have been working together for so long in this house. We're not obviously the same company, but like we're both like, oh, we need like a break.
Yeah.
Like when you see someone all day, every day, my God.
Yeah.
Her storyline was good though. I was
It was
proud of
good.
it, except for the fat thing was stupid. Charlotte
Charlotte.
was kind of a background character. I
Yeah,
would say.
she's definitely more, they use her more as like, let's have Charlotte do like crazy reactions. LOL.
My
And you're
God.
like, well, I guess she does that. She's just, really hype. And there's a lot of times where she's like, my life is so wonderful. And like, uh-oh, what's going to happen? And she does have, Lily is her daughter who she adopted with her husband, Harry. Bridge.
Love him.
I love Harry. I wish we had
love
more
Harry.
Harry in this movie. He's a great
Yeah,
character.
where was Harry? Love him.
He was not there, actually. And you know who was there? It was Lily Bridge. And can I tell you a drinking game for this movie? Is take a sip every time Lily ruins a life. Okay?
Lily
Because it's a lot.
was a terror.
It happens many times. All right? Dare I say, the whole wedding thing
Could have been
might
fine.
not have been a problem if Lily wasn't
Lily
there.
stole her phone.
Mhm.
Lily stole her phone.
Yeah.
And ruined it.
So I'm just...
And where was Charlotte?
You
Why
know,
wasn't she watching her daughter?
It's not that I want to blame 2-year-olds or however old she is, but
Most do.
I just it makes you think a little bit. So yeah, but then Charlotte's whole plot point is she couldn't get pregnant and it was very emotional and hard, and that's why they ended up going with adoption. And then oops, surprise, she's pregnant. And there is also a subplot where she poops her pants in Mexico.
So
Which
I
she
was like, Charlotte, you're kind of like
being
a little racist.
I was like, this is like so racist.
Not
So
a little. Yeah.
I'm glad she ended in poop.
She should end in poop. Like, what Mexico's stunning. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they were right to make fun of her, too. They're like, what? Why aren't you eating?
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
And then she's like, something terrible is going to happen to me because terrible things happen to all of you. And then Carrie goes, you shit your pants this year. I think you're done. And I was like, touche. Carrie's got some quips. Okay. You can
She
tell
is. She's
she's a
pretty
writer.
Yeah.
My favorite Charlotte moment, there's, again, she's got the reactions where she screams bloody murder when Carrie says her and Big are engaged. And then Miranda goes, and I'm deaf. Amazing. That's one. And then the other is where, well, it's kind of two times where when Big leaves Carrie at the altar and then he kind of turns around and then Charlotte hugs Carrie and she's like, no. she's
so intense.
I mean, listen, Charlotte's scary, but that's the kind of friend you want on your side at times.
That's right.
And then she also says, I curse the day you were born to Big. And I was like, we all should say that.
I agree.
So,
oh my God.
we all should curse the day he was born and the writers put him on this goddamn show. I'll tell you what.
A part of me also felt like Charlotte didn't really, the whole like pooping your pants or whatever, I guess was their attempt, but I don't think that she was really the star of the show. I think it was very much Miranda and Carrie, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and,
Miranda.
That's the most
For those
amazing.
of you that don't know what we're talking about, there is the funniest.
If you're
Instagram,
listening to this
TikToker,
episode, your algorithm's going to start showing
Miranda?
you. Miranda? Oh
And
my
it's
God.
just this woman that dresses like Steve, and he just shows up. She shows up in these random places just saying, Miranda.
Oh,
So
that's not
funny.
Miranda. It's just a basketball. Oh, it's just a little redheaded boy.
So
oh my God.
Miranda is working full time, has a little kid, is in frickin' Brooklyn, and is very much like, I find her relatable. Like, she's exhausted and trying to live life, and Steve's like, hey, you want to get down? And she's like, I'm tired, go away.
Yeah.
And then his response is to go cheat on her. And comes to her very quickly and is like, I did the worst thing possible. And then she was like, well, then fuck you. Like, you're gone. And the whole time, her friends were like, aren't you going to forgive him? I was like, why?
Yeah, I hate the subplot.
I thought, I was like, why are you guys shitting on Miranda? Like,
I hate
you know,
it so
like,
much.
like, why is Steve always the nice guy that we always forgive? You know? Fuck that.
This is where it feels not timeless, this
Yeah.
moment, because I feel like in 2008 we weren't all buying into the idea that when men show you they're trash, and you're not a raccoon, all right? So you ain't gotta hang out with trash. I don't care about those bags under your eyes.
Oh, Carrie, you made a little jokey.
Good for you, honey.
Good for you, honey.
I hate it so much because it's just a terrible message. And their argument is like, but Steve was always there for you for years and years, and he like loves you, and he said he was sorry, and he's not dating anyone else. And I was like, right, so those would all be beautiful sentiments if he didn't cheat on me. Mm-hmm. But he cheated. So they don't, like, it's like a canceling. Like, it's all canceled.
It's not relatable in 2024. So I'd be like, well, why is Miranda so stressed she can't have sex with her husband? Like, can we get to the root cause?
Yeah.
Because just forgiving him is not gonna fix the fact that she's, like, stressed as fuck. So, like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know?
And they go to therapy at one point, and the therapist is like, so she is not Robin Williams from Good Will Hunting. Okay.
Oh my God. Robin, no one can compare.
I want him to, he would have been like, Steve, go fuck yourself. Miranda, you want to get some drinks? And she'd be like, absolutely. You little man. Let's do it.
Yep.
It's terrible. I think a lot of people are really upset by this subplot too, because if you watch this show, Steve really is portrayed as like, he loves Miranda, and she's the one that kind of dumps him a couple times. Mm-hmm. And she's the one that needs convincing to basically get with him. And it's so sad because you're like, it is cute in theory that the cynical woman gets pursued by a guy who's like in love with her, and that's all people want, right? If that's what you're looking for, and then we make him cheat on her, and then she cheats on him later in the reboot. Like, everything's stupid. It's stupid.
I think there's a stupid, but I'm like, listen, anybody can forgive anybody who cheats. Like, that's up to you. It's your relationship. You figure it out. But I still don't think they addressed, like, the real issue, which is like, well, can we, like, help Miranda not be so fucking stressed all the time? She's been stressed for like 40 years. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then there's like really just comparing it to like the sex, because they're like, oh yeah, that's like, we gotta talk about sex in the show or else it's not the show. How they're like, God. Oh, Miranda, you haven't had sex in 6 months. Gas.
Oh my God.
I was like, 6 months? Guys.
I have opinions on this.
6 months.
When fucking Charlotte is like, Harry and I have it at least 3 to 4 times
she
a
goes,
week.
We make love 2 to 4 times a week, bitch. When?
I was like, 4 times a week? I'm 4 times a week?
I'm tired.
Ma'am. Is Harry a 1 minute man? 4 times a week?
Wait, he probably is. Oh no,
like,
Harry.
I don't know if this is calling out my marriage, but like, I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I just was kind of like, way to be shamey. You know,
right.
Your friend is like going through shit, and your response is like, well, I actually have sex every fucking minute on every hour, and so your relationship's stupid. It's like, aren't you supposed to be besties? What are you doing?
I felt that way when they were like, how long has it been for you, Miranda? And she's like, 6 months, and everyone's like, ah! And I was like, guys, there are real problems in the world. Like, please relax. It's really not that big a deal. Oh my God.
It's really not.
I hated the spin on that. I hated it.
I hate to play this card too, but none of them have kids. And I'm like, they got a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, it's not the same as, so.
Yeah.
But I guess Charlotte does too, so I don't know. But Lily's just, I don't know.
Lily's just, prank phone calling people and ruining their weddings, so.
Do you think Lily was like secretly giving Charlotte IVF and she didn't know, and that's how she got pregnant?
No, Charlotte tried IVF, it didn't work, Bridge.
Oh my God.
The whole Miranda thing, I hate the subplot, and I also hate how when they fucking go and meet each other on the bridge, I do get a little emotional. And I'm like, you
I
stupid
mean, it is great and
fuckers. It's fucking cute and it's fucking stupid. And I turn it to Charlotte. I hate it. It's dumb. I'm like,
What's wrong with turning it to Charlotte
fucking
sometimes?
dare you? It's
Why
fine.
you gotta be so angry?
I just
It's
don't
their
like
relationship.
it. Ugh.
I mean, I kind of look at it like, not my cup of tea, but like, it's your relationship. You know, you guys do you. I don't know.
Ugh, Miranda. Oh my God.
Miranda?
Well, and
All
also,
right.
we should reference before we dive into Carrie. Also, part of Miranda's, somewhat connected to the stuff with Steve, is Miranda makes a comment to Big. This is also fucking stupid.
God.
She makes a passing comment to Big because Steve shows up at Carrie and Big's reception.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Rehearsal dinner.
And he's like, Miranda, you won't talk to me. I had to go find you. And she's like, get the fuck out of here. I hate you. And then she's upset. And Big's like, hey, bitch, you good? And she goes, you two are crazy to get married. And that's it. And she's pissed because of her own reasons we all know.
Yeah.
And then this apparently becomes a stupid part of the plot where
So
at some
stupid.
point after the wedding doesn't happen and Carrie's sad, Miranda tells Carrie that she said that. And then Carrie is like, how dare you? You ruined my marriage.
She reacted so absurd.
My God.
Oh gosh, she was so annoying. I thought to myself, okay, all you have to do is go back to Big after you said that comment and be like, I'm sorry, I was in a bad mood. Like, for your wedding.
Or,
you know?
Bridge, because women don't have to fix everything. Big can just be like, she's upset and it's different and it's personal
true.
like this is just, that's just how she feels in this moment and not forever, so I'll just ignore it.
Yep.
How about that? Because it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Okay.
And then they make up and they're friends. Okay.
Let's kick off Big real quick. Big's entire thing is like, I'm totally down for Carrie because I'm basically hitting geriatric age and I can't get 20-year-olds anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm embarrassed because this is my third marriage. And so I don't want it to be a big thing. And then all of a sudden it becomes a big thing because Carrie's a part of a magazine and then she gets free dresses and she gets PR and now they're inviting 300 people. And so I get him being like mad about that. Like, dude, like, can you calm the fuck down, Broadzilla? You know, like, I get that. And then he's kind of being made fun of like, oh, will this one stick? Ha ha ha. And so, like, I get it. However, he gets an apartment with her. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you just have nerves at a wedding and then like your whole life falls apart. Like they live together with like a big insane apartment. So there's commitment there. He came back around and he was like, I'm sorry. I was being stupid and it was in my head. Let's go get married. And she's like, no. I'm like, what? No, that's when you go to your husband.
She beats the shit out of him with flowers.
She beats the shit out of him. And I would, if I was Carrie, I'd be like, would you open the door and let's sit? What the hell are you doing? Why are you making me wait? You know, like, what's happening?
But this is part of Carrie is a lot of her problems are exacerbated by her lack of communication. Yes. And responses.
Yes. And so then he tries to like reach back out to her and then eventually, you know, they meet back up and then they get together. It's so fucking boring.
So romantic. I think
so boring.
I just always find it interesting too, again, if people have watched the show, when you know the shit that guy has done. When you know that. I don't understand.
I understand. Here, okay. If Carrie was 25, I'd be like, absolutely. There's always a Big. And every 20-year-old's 20 years. I get it. There's always a Big. There's always that person you make up, you break up, you make up, you break up. They're kind of always like, I get it. That's the thing. But you're in your 30s, and then in this movie, you're like in your 40s, and like, I don't understand how she's actually with him, you know?
Well, and he also dumped her multiple times, and then he moved to Paris and didn't tell her. And then when he reappeared from Paris, which was a couple months later, and she thought they were going to start dating again, he was literally engaged and then actually married her. And then he cheated on her with Carrie. And you know, it's just like one of those things where you're like, this is a self-inflicted problem, Carrie.
And he's kind of like a dickhead.
He is a dickhead. That's why I'm like, just...
And why is that the big exciting thing? Like it,
because she has been going out with the man for 10 years. I'm like, what have you fuckers been doing for 10 years? Show me the receipts, okay? Because I don't know. Did you break up 80 times in there? You probably did. And we just didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know. And then we meet Carrie. And Carrie is selling her iconic apartment to go move in with Big. And honestly, if he's so rich, why are you selling your fucking apartment?
Yeah.
Okay?
Miranda brings that up, and I was like, again, am I Miranda?
I agreed with Miranda. I go, why wouldn't you keep it?
Yeah.
And leave all your shit there and slowly move. She, quote unquote, bought her apartment, right? Like, I don't know, 4,000 years ago. So she probably bought it for like a bagel. And literally, I'm just like, I don't understand why you'd ever leave it.
She actually had to rebuy it back from Aiden in season 4/5 when they broke up because he had bought the apartment. And then they broke up, and then he sold it to her. And she didn't have money.
Aiden. Carrie is Mr. Big to Aiden. You know? Is it? Right?
What?
like how Big treats Carrie. Carrie is big to Aiden.
Oh, yes.
Right?
It's none of it's healthy ever.
So, but okay, so she's like still in the city and she gets excited to do like the wedding stuff, but she never really was like, wedding! You know, it's more Charlotte's thing.
Yeah.
But she did let it kind of spiral quickly and then got really into it. And honestly, she really never thought about him for most of it, which I thought was a big red flag.
Yeah. She gets the free wedding dress. And then Charlotte gives her, oh God, Anthony Marantino. What a stereotype, dare I say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anthony Marantino is catering to the gay men
absolutely.
who love this show. So, hi, cool. He's aggressive, and he's their wedding planner now. So that's something. And then she finds like, oh, I can get married in the library. I want to get married in the library. It just becomes a whole big thing because they were originally just going to do like a courthouse wedding. Also, their engagement was like bullshit. We didn't like reference that, but it was like lame where he's like, oh, you want to get married? Whatever. And she's like, it's so romantic. I was like, the bar is low. I hate it. Ugh.
The bar is so low.
Nasty.
The bar is so low, and you watch her kind of always being the constant to interacting with all of the other ladies. Mm-hmm. And most of, like, the drama is when he leaves her, and then they all go on her honeymoon, because they're like, fuck it. She goes, and then as a gift, I prepaid a Mexican vacation. Again, Carrie, you're marrying a billionaire or whatever the hell he is. Why are you paying for things on your, like, writer salary? This is just like, poor financial decisions, Carrie.
Carrie, did you max out your credit card for Mexico?
Yeah, like, I don't know what you're doing.
I'm worried about that.
And her fucking amazing friends
get
her all her deposits back. They go on the trip with her. They, like, deal with her, I'm sleeping in the bed. She was so dramatic of, like, I'm going to sleep in the... If I was in her situation and... the person actually did leave and it wasn't just a stupid communication issue, I would be hooking up with everyone in Mexico. I'd be doing tequila shots on the bar.
I was gonna say,
I would be with my friends having a party.
More tequila involved, yeah.
And I'd say I would be sad after we leave the Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Or restaurant, resort. Okay.
Right when we get out of the restaurant, I'm crying.
Right when we get out of the restaurant, the chips and guac are done. But I just was like, oh my God, the scene where she takes off her glasses and her eyes are so puffy, and it's like, oh, yes, she's been crying.
Well, that's what I'm
so hard for Mr. Big. How could her life go on?
I'm like, that's what Carrie looked like in season 1, you guys. Just go back there. It's okay. Normal people look like that sometimes. Yeah, and I do like, because at least during that part, it's like the 4 of them as friends, which is like what I like. So I'm like, okay, this is good. We do see Miranda's bush. Jokes about the bush. It's bright red. I just
don't think that's what it looks like. I'm just gonna say. I think that was like a bush wig. Is that a thing? Do people sell that?
I'm once again thinking of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he goes, "Does the carpet match the pubes?" I don't know, but it's a lot. And Samantha's like, I'll book you a waxing appointment. And Miranda's like, how fucking dare you? Now, if I was Miranda, I'd be like, oh, you trying to pay? All right. I'll get in there. I'll lift my leg over my head. Let's do it.
I kind of got what she was saying. And she was like, you all judged me for basically like sex blaming me that my husband cheated because like we haven't had sex in so long. So
if a husband cheats because of a bush, grow up, sickos. Jesus.
I would, yeah. And I don't know. So, but then finally Carrie's like, let's go to the restaurant. I was like, about time you guys partied.
Let's
and
keep
meanwhile,
drinking.
Charlotte, what a fucking downer
It's
with her
just-
chocolate pudding.
I'm
So they're
telling you.
having margaritas, chips and guac, and she's sitting there with chocolate pudding.
You know,
What a fucking asshole.
I think this is the time to also make mention that there is a second Sex and the City movie, God help us,
Oh my God.
where the four of them go to Abu Dhabi. I know it sounds like I'm making that up, but that is the plot
It's
of the
not.
second movie.
It's absurd.
And in that movie, Charlotte's eating and drinking whatever the fuck she wants. So yeah, this feels extra racist towards
Yeah.
Mexico. And I
Yeah.
don't like it. And it's all for a poop joke and Poughkeepsie in her pants. And I just, it's silly as fucking
Poughkeepsie. Oh my God.
Poughkeepsie
There's
in
so
her
much-
pants. And I just want to know whose idea was that?
Well, I think this is why we were so mad in the latest season when Charlotte got all that filler, because she does make great faces. Like
She
she made a great
does.
poop in your pants face.
Oh, her eye twitches. It's amazing.
I was like, how did someone act that well? I really thought she pooped in her pants.
Yeah, she might have.
Here's the thing. So then Carrie, the writers are like, we've been whitewashing Manhattan for so long. So we are going to hire, finally, one diverse cast member. And that's going to be Jennifer effing Hudson.
Wow.
Because Carrie is so stressed now that she has no money, I guess, and is going to get an assistant and get her life together. And you're like, okay, fine. We all been there. Go do your thing. Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer fucking Hudson. What?
How am I gonna breathe with no air? Bridge. We have to mention it right now
Do it.
before
Do
we
it.
move
Do
too
it.
quickly.
Do it.
Before we find Jennifer Hudson, we do an interview for our
Oh, God.
personal assistant in a
Oh,
Starbucks,
God.
just to point out, because we do have a lot of product placement in this movie.
So much.
And holy fuck, can I tell you, if anyone has seen this movie, you know exactly who this woman is. This is Drunk Kathy.
God.
And that is actually my nickname when I'm drinking. I am Drunk Kathy. In college, that's me. I would have gone on an interview at Starbucks while I was drunk. I would have ate the whipped cream if it was free, you know? That's me. And years later, the full circle moment to find out that actress is none other than Bridget Everett.
Oh my God.
I screamed. I literally paused the movie, went on IMDb, fact-checked myself, and then I texted you, and I texted so many other people, and was like, holy fuck, it's Drunk Kathy. What's happening? It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Kathy, you seem drunk. Little bit. Never made it in last night. But I type like a motherfucker. That's me, guys.
She's so fucking funny.
I type like a motherfucker. I'm sorry. I just had to reference that because that's
it's
just
iconic.
probably the best part of this entire fucking movie.
So
Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
Okay.
So-
Here she is. Okay.
she's like, Louise from St. Louis. Okay, whatever.
Oh.
St. Louis. I don't know. And her whole plot is about the movie Saint, and she has a love that she came to New York to find love.
Because
and-
her boyfriend dumped her unexpectedly because she wasn't the one. He sounds like
Yeah.
a bitch, but then she marries him later too. So what's the message?
Yeah.
I hate
the
it.
message, I'm telling you, the message.
The message
like,
is settle, and I don't like it.
Well, and it's so, like, we never get to root causes anywhere.
No.
Like, we are surface everywhere.
Yeah.
And even when Carrie is, like, with Jennifer Hudson all the time, and she barely knows anything. She's never asking Jennifer Hudson anything about her, right? She's just eventually like, oh, is that a booty call? Or, like, let's grab a drink. Or, like, whatever. I don't know. I kind of got the sense of, like, when you have a personal assistant and you're Carrie Bradshaw, which is, like, just you and you only, wouldn't you, like, be more friends? And
Yeah.
so when she comes into the movie, you're like, cool, Jennifer Hudson, we're gonna like see some acting and
See some
instead she
singing.
literally is just like, your website stinks. You have emails.
She's like
Uh-oh.
unpacking boxes, and then there's a youthful
yeah.
song in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're like, well, I guess she didn't really do much. But yeah, she goes home and falls in love with, this is definitely, I'm glad this has nothing to do with love. This just has to do with Sex in the City.
Love is the thing, Bridge. That's an actual quote from the movie. And Jennifer Hudson, poor girl, had to say it, and nobody could say it right. And boy, did she try. And yeah,
God.
we
There's
do.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh.
There's a fucking website.
Oh,
I'm
God.
so sorry to cut you off,
Is
but
it-
this is so important.
Oh no.
There is a website, because I was looking for the Carrie Bradshaw website when Jennifer Hudson goes, Carrie Bradshaw's website is a mess. And I thought somebody would make one and be funny. Instead, I found Carrie Bradshaw is the worst.com.
Did you make that website?
I'm so sorry to cut you off. Continue.
There's so many articles. Oh my fucking God. There's so many articles about it. It's so fucking funny. But we do have a New Year's part in this because we span over months and months and
God.
months. And the New Year's scene is Carrie's alone. And we kind of see what everyone's doing on New Year's. And Miranda is also alone because it's Steve's night. Miranda? It's Steve's night to take Brady, and she's all alone. And then she's like, I'm alone eating Chinese food, Carrie. And I was like, bitch, that sounds like a good time.
Sounds amazing.
Lucky you. Like, count your lucky stars. And Carrie's like, well, I'm sleeping. Do you want me to come over? And Miranda's like, no, it's fine. And then Carrie runs across the city to be with her friend. And I'm like, fuckers, I love the friendship. You stupid
that's
assholes.
adorable.
It is. Would I do it?
What?
Yes.
I was just going to say, I think you would.
I think I would.
It was, I mean,
Depends.
it is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it in the heels that she runs around in. That's for sure. I'd be putting on sneaks. You know?
Bitch wears a sequin beanie, too. That was in at the time.
Wow.
Sequins are making a comeback. Thank you, Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Yes, but then we get Valentine's Day, and this is where Carrie says Miranda ruined her marriage, even though she didn't. And it's so fucking dumb, and it's really stupid. And somehow we get to, like, springtime. And I think springtime is when it's like, all right, this movie's gotta end. It's been a year. Like, get it together. And Jennifer Hudson's like, anyway, Carrie, I'm quitting because I'm getting married. Bye forever.
God.
That apartment you and your not husband were gonna get, you know, it's closing today. It's
Today.
So
Go get your keys.
your shoes. There's
Yeah.
shoes there, Carrie. And she was
God.
like, oh, what do you mean? And then, there's also a part where, so when Charlotte has her baby, she tells Big, I curse the day you were born, iconic. He drives her to the hospital. And then Harry and Charlotte are like, yeah, he was like waiting for you. And then Harry's like, he said he wrote to you like every day. And I was like, this is not The Notebook. Back up.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Relax.
Okay. Yep.
Because Big ain't making it to Alzheimer's age. All right?
What?
He's just not. Spoiler alert. Okay.
Oh.
Watching just like that. But then she's like, I gotta figure out, like, how did he write to me? I didn't get any letters. And it's all on the email bridge.
Technology.
Technology ruining lives again, no? Or bringing them
Do you
together.
think Lily did it? Do you think
Did Lily
changed it?
write the email? What a plot twist.
Dear Kelly,
That would fucking be.
I love you.
I love you.
I
Oh my
just-
God.
This whole outdated of like, this dude doesn't really put in any effort or care. Like, then he probably doesn't care. You know, that's just what it is. Go to Mexico with your friends. Call it a day.
Well, instead she meets him
back.
at the apartment and they bone in a closet
They get back
and then they
together.
get married.
They get
and,
married.
And they have a reception at Denny's.
And then everybody gets excited for them.
And then we have a sequel
What
and a spinoff.
Honestly, if I'm Charlotte, Miranda, and Samantha, they deserve awards for dealing with Carrie's nonsense.
Wow, for sure. For sure.
Maybe that's the website I should start.
Oh, the
Carrie'sNonsense.com.
Carrie's
And then
Nonsense.
I just write all about how they're
I'll
all great
subscribe.
friends to Carrie.
I mean, there's just so many times throughout the show that it's like, what? I think my favorite from the show is where after, I think, one of the big breakups, all of our friends are like, so, Carrie, like, that's nice that you're, like, sad and talking to us about your feelings, but we've heard the story, read it, and now you gotta go to therapy. And she goes,
Yeah.
I don't need therapy. I have you guys. And Samantha's like, it's like the blind leading the blind. Get into therapy. And she's like, damn. And then she goes to therapy for like one episode
A day.
and then she leaves.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
what? And I think that just subscribes to Carrie, you know?
Yeah,
That's
totally.
who she is. So
Totally.
Wow.
Well,
Listen.
watch it or don't watch it.
I gotta say, I mean, as much as I rip it apart, because there's so much to rip apart, I do watch this movie.
I'd rather watch the series.
The series is great. I rewatch the series like every
5
couple of
years.
years. Yeah.
I just would do the series. I think the movie
The series
is like,
good.
I think the series is fun.
The movie is like fine for background. And the quotes. Curse the day you were born. Poughkeepsie in your
God.
pants. Oh, honey, you made a little joke. Good for you. Fur is murder. Murder. There's just so many. Yeah.
But it's my pick.
Woo!
And I got a good one. You're never gonna guess it. It's from 1987.
Oh.
And I'm singing like the star of it. Do you know who it is?
Whitney?
Am I doing a good impression?
Whitney Houston?
Do you believe?
Cher? Are we doing mermaids?
No.
Oh, wait, Moonstruck?
Yeah!
Oh, with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah!
And, who's the other, is there another person? Is there another man?
I think there's a lot, but honestly, I don't even remember if I've seen this.
This is the one where she says, snap out of it, and she slaps him. She won an Oscar for this.
Honestly, apparently it's wintry, so I tried to stay on theme. I know how you like a theme.
I love a theme.
I don't even remember if I've seen this all the way through. I'm ready. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect, but Cher's
Do you
Cher's
have
the bomb.
a one sentence? No? Okay.
I'll do one.
What does it say?
No sooner does Italian-American... Oh my god, we're so annoying. Italian-American widow Loretta Cher accept a marriage proposal from her Dolish... I don't know what that word says.
What?
Doltish boyfriend?
Dotish?
What's Doltish? Doltish?
Maybe it means
New to me.
You're a bitch.
Then she finds herself falling for the younger brother. She tries to resist, but Ronnie lost his hand in an accident. He blames it on his brother, and the scruples about aggressively pursuing her brother out of the country. Loretta falls deeper in love and learns that she's not the only one with a secret romance. This sounds dramatic.
Is this Carrie Bradshaw's diary? Oh no.
Wait, did we just... Oh no, is Carrie again?
Is Cher
Cher, are you
okay.
Carrie? I can't.
As long as there's no Mr. Biggs, we'll be okay.
Oh my god.
Wow. All right. You're
Here
feeling
we
the
are.
romance, Bridge.
I just felt like doing something with people I want to watch, which is Cher.
I love
Who
that.
doesn't want to watch Cher?
I love Cher. She's great.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about the Sonny and Cher show. I was literally today thinking about that. And then I was like on this whole mental like rabbit hole of like, what happened to Sonny? Is he dead?
He died.
He
Yeah,
died? How'd he
like
die?
a famous accident.
What?
Oh my god, this is how I know you're younger than me.
What?
This is like, he died in like a super famous accident.
Why is it famous?
Well, I mean, they were like super famous.
Yeah. But she didn't die.
Yeah. Here, I'll look up. I'm like, well, honey. Okay. Oh, honey.
Honey.
Oh no, honey.
Fabulous.
This is where I'm the Samantha. Let me pull up the death. So, yes, it was a skiing accident, where he hit a tree. He was about 62.
Was it at the ski mountain we were at? Because
Nope,
that
it
feels
was in
real.
Lake Tahoe. I mean, but you can see how people can die with skiing.
Yeah.
But it, at the time, I think her and Sonny, were they broken up at the time? If not, maybe they were still together. But yeah, it was like tragic. Like,
Holy shit.
because he was older than her.
Well, now she's dating, like, she's like 65 plus, and she's dating a guy
Like a
who's like,
20-year-old.
yeah.
She's-
And he's like
She is
obsessed with
Samantha.
her. And I was like, she is Samantha.
She's totally Samantha.
Oh, listen to her Christmas album, y'all. It's pretty good.
Merry
DJ, play
Christmas.
that Christmas song. That's a
Happy
banger.
New Year.
Happy New
So-
Year. Okay. Moonstruck, I'm ready.
Dad loves a good Cher
He
song.
does love Cher.
Okay, and I'm ready for, some Italians, and let's do it.
Are they in Joyzy? Maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. Could be.
All right.
Let's do it.
Bridge, I just want to say if,
Yeah.
well, you're already married, but I guess if somehow, some way, a little toddler, not your child, by the way, somebody else's toddler, was on the path to ruin your wedding, ruin your marriage, ruin your life with a cell phone. I would supervise the kid and be like, we're not doing this, Lily. We're not doing it. We're not going to Mexico in the sad way. We're not getting Jennifer Hudson, okay? You can call her on the phone. We're not doing it. We're not. Go find your parent. And I do that for you because I love you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
Yep.
amazing.
It's for
Well, Kate, I think if Miranda was sharing her intimate details and all these things and needed a therapist, that I would have her talk to you.
Wow.
And I would pay you on the side just to rip apart Steve and go have drinks with Miranda and giggle about how absurd her plot is and tell her to not be friends with Carrie anymore.
I'd be like,
then move on.
Miranda, here's the deal. You let your bush grow out as far as big as you want it. It might be itchy. I don't know. Might be tickly.
Might need a larger pant size.
You gotta change the underwear. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, yes.
Who knows?
Oh, I love that. Well, and listeners, if you also would not comment on your friend's bush, because that just feels normal, you know?
That's weird.
Don't do that. And if you think that Lily ruins lives, Lily needs to be stopped, and hide your cell phones because she's out here ruining lives. And if you think that, you know, big spoiler alert, he does die in the reboot. He's dead pretty quickly. And I just wonder what our lives would have been like had that happened sooner. Okay. Do you wonder that too? And if you think all that, you should write us a review. We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Your request goes on a list, and we look at the list every now and then, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can give us money.
Woo!
Which we all could take. Just give it to us.
Yeah.
Is Big listening?
Hello?
We'll take a penthouse.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We just talked about you for hours.
Yeah.
Okay? Give us a penthouse. Okay. And then there's also merchandise. Now, since it's the new year, I know I've been pushing about holiday gifts.
Yeah.
But for those of you that were like, oh no, someone got me a present that I didn't realize they were going to get a present, you get to say to them, oh my God, I had your thing. It's at home. I'll see you next time. And then quickly go on our site and get it. And when you meet up with them in January, because things are so busy, you'll have a gift.
Yeah.
Okay? Did you guys follow that?
That's a fucking Ocean's 11's heist right there. All right. We don't need no George Clooney, Brad Pitts.
Oh, God.
I'll take Matt Damon, though. You know me.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yes. So check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Moonstruck.
When the moon hits ya like a big pizza pie, it's amore. I think that's amore. Bye-bye. I love you. Happy New Year.
I love you. Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
Hashtag manifest. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.